Two of the biggest names in the NASCAR Cup Series will not be behind their own wheels this Sunday in San Diego, and the reasons could not be more different from one another. One driver is dealing with a fractured wrist that has not fully healed, forcing his team to plan for the possibility that he may not finish the race himself. The other driver is being kept out for a completely different reason, a rule tied to his own success this season. As the series prepares for its first ever event on a brand new street circuit, both situations have now been resolved, and the identities of the two backup drivers stepping into these high-pressure roles have officially been confirmed. This weekend marks a historic first for NASCAR, as the Cup Series prepares to race on a brand new street circuit for the very first time. The race is the inaugural 250, a 75-lap event, scheduled for Sunday, June 21st, taking place on the Qualcomm circuit, a 19-turn, 3-bit, 4-mile layout built on Naval Base Coronado in San Diego, California. Every driver entered in the race is facing the same challenge of learning a layout that none of them have ever competed on before. But heading into this landmark weekend, two of the sport's most discussed names are dealing with circumstances that have nothing to do with the new track itself, and everything to do with situations that have been building for weeks. The first storyline centers on rising driver Connor Zilisch. Earlier this season, Zilisch moved up to the Cup Series full-time with Trackhouse Racing, a significant step forward following a remarkable rookie campaign in which he won 10 races. Despite now competing full-time in the Cup Series, Zilisch has continued making appearances in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, returning to his former team, JR Motorsports, 7 times already this season. Each of those starts has come behind the wheel of the number 1 Chevrolet, a car he has been splitting with fellow driver Carson Kvapil. His form in that car has been excellent, with wins already secured this year at Bristol Motor Speedway and Watkins Glen International, building on his 10-win rookie season from the year before. Most recently, Zilisch competed at Pocono Raceway, where he finished in 9th place. Despite that strong form, Zilisch will not be racing in this weekend's O'Reilly Series event in San Diego. The reason comes down to a specific rule within the series. Full-time Cup Series drivers are only eligible to compete in Sunday's Cup race on the new Qualcomm circuit, since the course is brand new for every competitor in the field, removing any experience advantage. That same rule does not extend to Saturday's O'Reilly Series race, which means Zilisch is excluded from that event entirely this weekend. With Zilisch unavailable, his replacement has now been confirmed. Carson Kvapil will return to the number 1 Chevrolet for Saturday's O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race. For Kvapil, this marks yet another chapter in what has already been an extraordinarily chaotic season behind the wheel. He has swapped teams 6 times already this year, and this weekend's race marks his 13th car change in 18 races. It also represents his 7th consecutive entry switch, meaning he has not driven the same car in back-to-back races since April. Beyond the number 1 Chevrolet, Kvapil has also driven the number 9 Chevrolet for JR Motorsports when that car is needed, and the number 91 Chevrolet for DGM Racing, alongside Jesse Iwuji Motorsports, whenever both JR Motorsports entries are already occupied. Despite the constant movement between cars and teams, Kvapil's results have remained remarkably consistent. He currently sits 7th in the O'Reilly Series point standings, 94 points above the postseason cut line. His season includes 9 top 10 finishes, 4 of which landed inside the top 5. He is still searching for his first career victory at this level. Looking ahead, Zilisch is expected to return to the number 1 Chevrolet for the following 2 O'Reilly Series races, scheduled at Sonoma Raceway and Chicagoland Speedway. Saturday's race, the United Rentals Driven to Serve 250, will air on the CW network, with coverage beginning at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. The second major storyline of the weekend involves Christopher Bell, who is racing through a significant physical setback. Bell suffered a fractured left wrist in a hard crash with Hendrick Motorsports' Chase Elliott at Michigan International Speedway 2 weekends prior to San Diego. Despite the injury, Bell competed in the full race distance at Pocono Raceway, stating afterward that his wrist felt fine, except in moments when his car absorbed bumps from competitors around him. Heading into San Diego, the question of whether Bell will complete the full race remains unresolved. Speaking after Friday's opening practice session, Bell addressed his uncertain status directly. "I don't know. That's going to be a decision that we weigh out as it unfolds," Bell said. "So we haven't made the decision yet. And yeah, I think it's going to be a game-time decision." Part of the difficulty stems from the nature of the Qualcomm circuit itself. The 16-turn layout demands far more aggressive steering input than the sweeping, triangular design of Pocono, placing additional strain on an injury still in its early stages of recovery. Bell elaborated on the seriousness of the situation. "I will say that it is a very high-risk racetrack, and I can't afford any setbacks," Bell said. "I'm already 2 weeks into this healing process now, so the goal certainly is to get back to 100% as quick as possible, and then, yeah, we'll see what happens." During Friday's practice session, Bell and his standby driver combined to produce the 36th fastest lap among the 39-car field. Adding to the physical challenge, Bell's cast had to be rewrapped this week after losing its shape following the Pocono race. With Bell's status uncertain, his team has confirmed a standby driver for the San Diego weekend. Brent Cruz, an 18-year-old Joe Gibbs racing driver competing in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, will be on standby for Bell throughout the race. Cruz enters the weekend in strong form, recording 6 top 5 finishes, including 3 runner-up results across his 9 most recent starts. He currently has no prior Cup Series race experience. Cruz's path to this moment has been built steadily across multiple series and circuits. He finished in 6th place during his O'Reilly Series debut at Circuit of the Americas in March, followed by another 6th-place finish at Watkins Glen International in May. He also recorded a 2nd-place finish at the Charlotte Motor Speedway Roval in a Truck Series race back in October 2025. During Friday's Cup Series practice, Cruz took several laps behind the wheel of Bell's car and nearly matched Bell's fastest lap time, trailing by just 0.050 seconds. Speaking ahead of the race weekend, Cruz reflected on the circumstances surrounding his potential Cup Series debut. "Yeah, it sucks for sure, but lucky enough to be able to be friends with Christopher for a while now," Cruz said. "We've raced a whole lot of dirt racing together and stuff like that, so being able to just kind of be around and shadow him a little bit more has been cool. I fit in the seat, so hopefully Christopher will be able to be all right and dig through it with his wrist, obviously having those issues. He's extremely tough, so I think he is going to be just fine, but I'll be ready if need be." Bell also spoke about Cruz and the unique nature of this particular standby situation. "I really think that this is the perfect scenario for Brent. Coming to a racetrack where it's an equal playing field for everybody," Bell said. "He's obviously an amazing road course racer. He did great in the simulator, and then, yeah, practice, we're really struggling with our car right now, but he certainly was doing a great job and was on a pretty respectable lap before he made a mistake late on the lap, so, yeah, all things considered, I know that he will do really well, and if he races, we're not going to be limited by driver." Friday's Cup Series practice session produced a clear benchmark at the top of the timing sheet. Kyle Larson posted the fastest lap of the session, completing the circuit in 2 minutes and 16.588 seconds, an average speed of 89.613 miles per hour. The top 5 fastest drivers were Larson, followed by Todd Gilliland, Ty Gibbs, Connor Zilisch, and Carson Hocevar. Further down the order, Shane Van Gisbergen posted the 8th fastest lap, while Austin Hill, now driving the car vacated by the late Kyle Busch, finished 9th fastest. The session also marked a significant milestone for Kevin Magnussen, who is making his NASCAR Cup Series debut this weekend behind the wheel of the number 91 Trackhouse Racing Chevrolet. Magnussen finished 29th fastest in the session. Bell, continuing to race through his wrist injury, posted the 36th fastest lap among the 39 cars on track. In terms of championship standings, Bell currently sits 10th in the Cup Series point standings, 70 points above the postseason cut line. Under current rules, all Bell needs to do to receive credit for the result of his number 20 car in Sunday's 75-lap race is start the event, regardless of whether he completes it himself. Looking beyond this weekend, Bell has expressed hope of returning to the Coronado circuit under better physical circumstances in the future, ideally racing at full health when the series returns to the venue. Sunday's Anduril 250 will be broadcast live on Amazon Prime Video, with coverage beginning at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on June 21st. As the field prepares for the green flag, the central question entering the weekend remains unresolved. Whether Bell starts the race, completes the full distance himself, or hands the wheel over to Cruz at some point during the 75 laps is a decision that, by Bell's own account, will not be made until the race itself is already underway.